Hello and welcome to another video on the Enough is Enough YouTube channel. In this video, I just want to provide you with a little bit of an update on some information that you may find helpful that's available online. And the first of these is a relatively new interview with Dr. Chetty by Dr. Philip McMillan of VJohn Health. And it's an excellent interview. It's well worth watching. It does go for a while, it goes for about an hour and 20 odd minutes. But they cover a lot of ground and a lot of interesting information. They give us a little bit of an update on how Dr. Chetty is doing, and he's doing very well, still very successful in all the treatment that he's doing. Still hasn't really changed, still doing the same protocol, and it's working as well now as it ever has. But they go on to talk about some other topics that are really interesting. And the first that they explore, which is fascinating, is Dr. Philip McMillan asks the question about why Dr. Chetty thinks that it's so difficult for people to believe that what he's doing actually works. And I think that's a huge issue. And I can relate. I speak to people most days about Dr. Chetty and his work in an effort to try to get the word out there. And I can see the puzzled looks on many people's faces as they struggle to see how this could be, that such a successful treatment could be overlooked, that it wouldn't be on the radar of our governments and others that are informing our narrative, telling us what's happening with COVID. It just seems too hard. And I think these guys have had the same experience, and they explore that mostly from the perspective of the medical profession. And Dr. Chetty has some interesting things to say about that. They also talk about vaccines, the impact of vaccines on Dr. Chetty's treatment, on the tests that are done for testing COVID, on statistics. They cover it from a few different angles, and certainly well worth listening to. And then the most relevant for now is the Omicron variant. And Dr. Chetty has some interesting things to say about it. In particular, he wonders if it's maybe a blessing in disguise, that if it is more contagious but less lethal and less damaging, that maybe it will travel the globe and help to build up immunity. And that would be a wonderful thing, that if we could push through this pandemic, it would be really, really a wonderful, a welcome change for all of us, really. So that interview is fantastic, well worth watching and listening to. But there are some other resources online that, look, most of you have hopefully seen. If not, I just thought I would draw your attention to them. And one is a website that's hosted in New Zealand that is called 8days.org. And it is also focused on trying to get the word out there about Dr. Chetty. On this website is one of the best interviews that I've seen so far with Dr. Chetty about his work. It's excellent, another long interview, but just covers so much ground and explains it so well. And there's some other video resources there. There is other information on there. There's links to articles that he has written, and even some testimonials as well. And they are updating that fairly regularly. So look, that's a website that is worth you adding as a bookmark to your browser and visiting from time to time. And another website that's worth looking at is Dr. Chetty's own website. Really, it's focusing on his practice. And there's some photos there of where he's working, of how he's set up for COVID. There's other resources there. There's more information about him. There's video resources. There's latest news, little updates that come through. It's certainly worth adding as a bookmark to your browser, even some testimonials. So that's an excellent resource. Another great resource, which, look, most of you probably already know about. I've really enjoyed many of Dr. Bean's lectures, his training sessions, and he's putting out content all the time. And he seems to have a fairly balanced approach. He has some great videos on how the vaccines work, how COVID works. He's trying to keep up to date with Omicron. Some really great resources there. So look, there's just a few bits of information for you that hopefully you'll find helpful and useful. The big news for me, though, is that there is an observational study underway at the moment being conducted that's looking into Dr. Chetty's work and not just his work, but other doctors who are aligned with him and treating COVID patients in a similar way, primarily in India. Their work is being collated and put together and put into an observational study that will hopefully provide more information that the medical profession will feel is acceptable. They really want something in writing and documented. And so hopefully that will really help to add validity to Dr. Chee's approach and help others to see that it has been very successful. So when I know about that, I'll let you know about that, and hopefully, yeah, it'll really help in terms of getting the word out there. So look, I hope they're helpful for you. If you have other resources, feel free to link to them in the comments, and as others have done already, and I'll check them out. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video soon. Goodbye.